So I'm back in America, and man, I would have to. You would think you would say it's wonderful to be back. It's wonderful to be home again. It's wonderful to sleep in my own bed again. It's wonderful to be back and smell the dirty, polluted fucking air. It's such a wonder. But no, but no. Literally, man. Literally, I swear to God, when I was flying in and the plane was landing, I was listening to an old school rock song, right? I was listening to an old school rock song, and I remember landing in. The sky was clear, and I was looking down at the skyline, the Dallas skyline, and man, I damn near shed a tear. Right? I didn't shed a tear because I was thankful that the plane landed. Yeah, that's good. That's good too, Ninja. That's good too. I wasn't about to shed a tear because I was just happy to make it back home to my family. That's good too, Ninja. That's good too, Ninja. I was about to shed a tear because, Ninja, I have to come back to the nonsense. I was about to shed a tear because, Ninja, I was living in bliss. Ninja, I was living good, eating good, right? Chilling, right? Surrounded by beautiful women, right? I rarely seen a sloppaloposaurus, Ninja. I rarely seen a sloppaloposaurus. Ninja walking through the mall. I'm talking about bona fide eights working in the store, walking around. I'm like, Ninja, I can get used to this, right? Not seeing a sloppaloposaurus, right? Talking to women with lovely attitudes, right? Just friendly attitudes, not even, sexually, just regular everyday conversation, right? Just talking to them. Hey, how you doing? Hola, ¿cómo estás, bonita? Ninja. Just regular everyday conversations and coming from that environment, right? Coming from that environment and coming back landing with the sloppalopasauruses everywhere, right? With the entitled women everywhere, with the feminized men walking around everywhere, right? The political atmosphere, right? The current economic atmosphere, just to come back to this shit and have to go to work, Ninja, right? I almost shed a damn tear, man. Almost, and you may think I'm exaggerating, Ninja. I was this close, and what's so crazy was the plane was halfway empty. The plane was halfway empty. So I was in a coach. I was in coach. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was in coach. But what's so funny is half a coach, half the back of the plane was empty, Ninja. Half the back of the plane was empty. I got a whole row to myself. You had people sitting up in first class. First class look good and all, but you sitting next to somebody, Ninja. You sitting next to somebody. You got to breathe their air and all that. I'm in the back, and Ninja, I'm got my feet laid out. Other people got their feet laid out. I got two other whole seats to myself, Ninja. I got two other seats to myself. But back to the point. The point coming back here, right? Coming back here and just the attitude, the energy, and you can immediately tell, right? When I hopped off the plane in the DR, man, right? The air just it was breathable, right? It was breathable. I just felt like, damn, the air felt clean, right? It smelled like freedom, Ninja. Freedom was ringing all through my body, Ninja. Freedom was ringing all through my head, Ninja. Bro, I was just, I was just in complete bliss. I was happy, right? I wasn't in a rush. See, us Americans, we're always in a rush. The rush to pay bills, the rush to get to work, the rush to work, right? The rush to just head it somewhere to get nowhere. Just everything is in a rush. Everybody's angry, right? And I just left a whole different environment, right? And I'm not saying that it's perfect. That's not what I'm saying at all. But it's completely different. It's completely different, and you immediately feel it, right? The energy shifts, like when you land, right? When you get around other Americans, the energy shifts. Right now, you back with these psychopaths. You back with the way that people think, right? Which is usually psychopathically ninja, or not psychopathically, but y'all get what I'm saying, right? A lot of people here in America are Looney Tunes, goofballs, right? They're crazy, right? Both left and right. And for a minute, for a good week, right? For a good week, I was able to get as far away from that as possible.
I built a life, I built a family, I worked my hands raw to get here, and I'm not done. This is the escape blueprint, PFP life, a way out of the grind and into control. You'll learn how I stack cash, build systems, and reclaim time so you can live on your own terms. You will watch me maneuver and grind towards the life that I achieve for myself, and you can also do the same. Join the circle, join the Patreon, learn the steps, and protect your freedom. The Escape Blueprint, PFP Life.
And I already told y'all the story in my last videos about the American chicks, right, that I thought were Dominican, but they were born in the Dominican Republic, but they are by way of New York City, right? So they're American, essentially, right? And I told y'all about that, and you can just immediately tell, right? You can immediately tell from the mannerisms. You can immediately tell by their rudeness. You can immediately tell, right? Because on that same rooftop, I met another woman, right? On that same rooftop, I met another woman, and she was straight Dominican. She didn't speak no English, right? No English, no English, papi, no English. Okay, hola, ¿cómo estás, mami? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo te llama? ¿Cómo te llama? Mi nombre es Rod. Bibes in Santo Domingo. You know, I'm just hitting her with the boom, boom, pow, right? And the energy with that interaction was completely different from the American hoes, right? Completely different, right? She was open, she was lovely, she was friendly, and like I said, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that things are perfect or you won't run into any riffraff. That's not what I'm saying. But in general, the environment is an open environment, right? In general, the environment is just friendlier. Listen, another example, I was sitting in the mall, just window shopping, just sitting in the mall, window shopping, looking at beautiful women, drinking my, Dominican coffee, just sitting there. I'm just, relaxing. I mean, hey, what the hell else I got to do but sit here and enjoy myself and not be rushed, right? So eventually there were three ladies, two elderly ladies and one younger woman, around my age, probably a little bit younger. They came and sat at my table, right? Little coffee tables. They asked me, hey, can we sit here, right? And if you know anything about the Dominican Republic and much of Latin culture, they're very friendly and they're very what's the word, conversational, for lack of a better word, right? They're open to speaking to even strangers. It's just a open culture, right? Right, they don't segment themselves off, right? Gatherings and talking to people, right, even strangers, is a thing, right? They'll say hello, they'll have a whole conversation with you. They sat down at my table, and I speak, hablo un poco, right? I speak a little bit of Spanish, but not enough to have full blown conversations, right? And I'm sure they knew I was American anyway. But I said that to say, like, that would be a completely different. The dynamic is completely different in America, right? People segment themselves off, right? People are more individualistic, right? People are what's another word? People are wary of the next man. They're wary of the next woman. Everybody's suspicious of the next person, right? You don't really see that too often, right? Where I was, right? And of course, I got to spend I have to spend more time, right, in the area to get a full gist of it. But just me being a people watcher and me being accurate with the way that I see things, right? The reason why I sat in the mall, because I wanted to get a bird's eye view on the heart of the city, the heart of the culture, right? The heart of how people move. They move completely different. The way that they do things is completely different, right? The way that they see family is completely different. The way that they see strangers is completely different. Versus here in America, you damn near almost have to be suspicious of everybody, right? You don't know who's who. Ninja could be a school shooter. Ninja could be dang on trying to steal. Like Ninja could be, bro. It could be a wide array of things, right? And I even seen at the mall these three Bebe kids was running around the mall in Santo Domingo, right? And just even the way that they were treated, right? Even the way that they were handled by police officers or security officers. I mean, they were handled like children. They had to be around anywhere between 8, 9, and 10, but they were handled like, dang on 8, 9, and 10-year-olds, right? They were running around the mall, causing a little havoc, right? If that had been America, they may have gotten slammed on their neck, Ninja. They may have gotten slammed on their neck, right? Broken neck, Ninja would have been arrested, thrown in juvenile, all kinds of charges, Ninja. Like, yeah, right. It was just a completely different atmosphere, and just to be back, right? Just to be back. First and foremost, it gave me the utmost motivation, right? I'll tell you that right now. It gave me the utmost motivation to get the fuck out of here. I'm just calling a spade a spade. It gave me the utmost motivation to get the hell up out of here, right? Because it's almost as if I didn't do myself a solid. I didn't do myself a favor, right? And when I say that is that I damn near came back more depressed, Ninja. Like, Ninja, I came back angrier, Ninja, right? Because I seen when you get close to that pot of gold, right? You get close to the promised land, Ninja, right? You almost win the lottery, right? Or you almost hit on crypto, but then you took your money out a week before, right? You took your money. I've done that before. Trust me, I've done that before, right? I did that with I forgot the name of it, the little doggy thingy. I forgot the name of it, but I took my money out. I took my money out a week before it blew up. I would have been sitting on hundreds of thousands of dollars, but that's neither here nor there. I've already forgiven myself and buried that dream. Okay, but it's just like that. It's just like that. And then coming back here, right? Realizing how you could live, coming back and realizing like the environment that you could be in, the people you could be surrounded by, the friendship that you could make, the women that you could be pulling their hair back out of their scalp, right? You come back and then you look around, you see what's going on, and you damn near wanna skinny pop yourself up out of here, right? That's how I'm feeling, right? So, like I said, I damn near didn't. I didn't do myself I didn't do myself a favor, right? Because now I came back more screwed up. I'm like, fuck, man, I got to do this all over again. I got to do this day in and day out again, right? But me being who I am, right? Me being, get rich or die trying mindset, the by any means necessary mindset. I am fully motivated. I have to keep what I was able to experience top of mind. I have to keep what I was able to experience, what I was able to go through, people that I've met, right? And I've met Americans there, right? Met one American. I couldn't tell, I thought he was Dominican, but he ended up being an American, right? He was sitting down, chilling, smoking a cigar, drinking Presidentes. If you know anything about, Presidentes, get you a Presidente when you drop down to Dominican Republic. One of the best beers I've ever tasted, hands down, right? But we was just chopping it up, and he was just telling me because he was going through a divorce, right? We were sitting there smoking cigars. I sat down with him, and he's 20 years older than me, right? He's done time in the military and all of that, and he has a 7-year old, just like me, right? And he hasn't seen his daughter in damn near a year, right? He's going through a divorce, and he hasn't seen his daughter in damn near a year. Still going through the court proceedings and all of that stuff. And this was his time to get away, right? And you could tell, you could look him in the eyes, and you could tell that a man was going through something, right? And it's not the first story that I've heard, second story, third, nor fourth, nor will be the last story that I hear of men, just trying to escape. Man, that was his escape. right? And he's also, trying to pave a way to, get over there full time. But the reason why he hasn't made the move is because, he's going through the situation, with his daughter. His daughter's in the States, of course, and he just doesn't know how to maneuver that situation. Right. And we just sitting there talking and chopping it up and, just talking about, just everything, from the politics in America, how far that's going, talking about the difference between the women. Right. And, I did get on his head, as a man, I got on his top because this was his second marriage. And I'm like, bro, you want to do this again? Because he was talking about getting married again to maybe a Dominican woman. I'm like, bro, slow down. Right. Slow down. You about to let a youngin school you? You about to let a youngin school you? I'm one and done, right? If mines don't work out, that's done. I'm one and done. I already know what's waiting for me on the horizon, Ninja. I've told her this multiple times. Hey, if you get wrong, you have freed me. Just know that. If you go wrong, if you go left, just understand, lady, just understand that you have freed me. Okay? I am doing my due diligence, Ninja. I am doing my due diligence. But just know and understand that if you go wrong, you have freed me. Right? So I was letting him know this, right? How my situation is set up. And I was getting on top of his head because he was married twice. This is the second time. And I was like, he's still stuck in this that's all he know mindset, right? This can come at a detriment to men because if all you know is being with a person and not trying to say that being with one woman and wanting to be married is necessarily a bad thing. Some people got their things, right? Not every man wants to have multiple women. Not every man see that as something beneficial for them, right? I get it. However, you've done this twice, Ninja. You've done this twice. Take your time, enjoy, right? Get your situation set up good with your daughter, right? Spend money on a good attorney, right? Get right, and then focus on all the other stuff. As far as now, I wouldn't even remotely even think about marriage, right? You thinking about marriage, bro? You're 40 something years old now, right? You're getting into your prime. You're in prime real estate years now for a man, right? These are supposed to be your best years, right? It makes no sense to lock yourself down after you've been through two marriages, not just one, Ninja. You've been through two marriages. It's time to lock in, right? And then you don't want to rush with. First of all, you don't even know the language. First of all, so you need to get your Spanish on, right? You need to learn the language, learn the culture, right? Experience many different women before you even start talking about marriage, right? But you'll meet men, and this is not the first time I met men overseas, who were going through something like that, and older men especially, right? I've run into, I'm usually the youngest one in a group, right? Hands down, I'm usually the youngest one who's doing it, the youngest one that's traveling, the youngest one because when I'm spitting knowledge, just like I spit knowledge to you guys, right? They're taken aback, right? Because many of them they don't learn until their 40s, right? This is one of the main reasons why I created this channel, the after pill, right? This is after that red pill BS. This is after that manosphere BS. Y'all already seen that go left. That's already went left already. Like that shit ain't help nobody. We're now in the after pill. We're in the after pill era. This is why I created a channel, right? To help men after the fact, right? You have to know how to maneuver after the fact, after everything is all said and done, after you've already gained the knowledge, after you've read the books, it's after, right? One of the reasons why I created this channel is to catch men early, catch men before they make those mistakes, catch men before they do this, catch men before they do that, right? But he even admitted, he learned too late. He was well into his 30s and 40s before he started to come into the same knowledge that I already came into, right? At 29 years old, right? Really before then, right? But him even having to leave, he like, man, I have to leave. I really enjoyed myself, man. I really wish I could make this my home, but I got the situation at home with my daughter, and I feel for him, right? I gotta go back home too, Ninja. right? I got to work and I got to pave my way to the places that I want to be. But this is what it's all about. Let this be your motivation, right? Let this be, the spark that you need to fight for your daughter that you haven't seen in over going on a year. Let this be the spark. Let this be the fire, right? We already know what we're going back to. We already know what's going on, where we're going back to, right? But we're going to allow this to be the spark that reignite that motivation, because America isn't motivating. It's not motivating, right? The women aren't motivating here. Like when I was just sitting there, bro, the women were so motivating, right? The women were so motivating because the women were so naturally beautiful, naturally in shape, just naturally pretty. I'm like, damn. I was seeing, bro. I was seeing women. No lie, I was seeing women, and I'm probably I'm gonna put this on the Patreon and probably put it on the member side too. Really going into depth into it, but bro, I was seeing women that was like, bro, this. I was like, bro, there's no way, bro. I was looking, bro. I was like, bro, there is no way. Can't be. I was looking around. I'm like, and it wasn't just a one-off. Ninja, they were a back to back to back to back. Even when you walked around the mall, they were working in the stores. I'm like, bro, there's no way. Even when I was chilling in another area called Zona Colonia, just sitting back, that's where we were chilling at, smoking cigars, drinking Presidentes, right? We were just sitting back and looking, and I'm talking about, bro, I was like, bro, that how in the hell? I was looking at, bro, and then they were from all spectrum of the rainbow. All spectrum of the rainbow. I'm talking about if you like them really, really light, damn near European light, long black hair, bro, they out there from thin to curvy and thick, ninja. And if you like them super duper dark, bro, I swear to God, I seen a chick that I couldn't believe her skin tone, right? I couldn't believe her skin tone. She was almost like damn near like damn near jet. It was like jet black, right? She was jet black, but bro, oh my God, she was absolutely gorgeous, ninja. I was looking at her. I'm like, dang, I like her skin tone was like this jet dark chocolate, and then she had long black hair. I'm like, what in the? And then she was thick, and I'm like, what in the world, bro? You see everything. You see everything. Like it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. Then you got to come back to the United States where the average chick you see is fat, right? Sloppy, right? And then if she's somewhat pretty, ninja, if she mid, maybe, right? She got an attitude. She thinks she all that. I'm like, bro. Even the prettiest girls out there are so humble, right? Even if they have, let's say, if they do have a boyfriend, they're approachable. Like they don't treat you less than a man. They don't. It's just different, man. It's just different. And that's an after pill. Welcome back to America, Ninja. Welcome back.